Greetings, adventurers. I am super excited to share today with you today's sponsor for this video. They are a service called Purple Garden, and they connect people like you and me with psychics and tarot readers and astrologers on their app in a way that is super accessible and super safe and just a really great environment. So all you have to do is create an account and you can browse through hundreds of different advisors that they have, and you can read through their bios and pick an advisor that you think will work the best for your particular situation. These advisors all are vetted by Purple Garden and are voted for by people like you. So you can go through and read reviews of people who have actually gotten readings from these specific people. Now, one of the things that I really like about Purple Garden is that every single advisor has a bio that you can read, but they also have a video that they have created just as kind of introducing themselves. So you can hear about their experience, their expertise, their history in giving guidance and giving readings to people. And it makes choosing somebody that you're going to connect with a lot easier. All of the advisors have 3 different options for how you can connect with them. You can do direct messaging via, texting. You can have a phone conversation through the app, or you can have a video conference, all totally secure through the app. So you can choose a way that is going to work the best for you, that you're the most comfortable with. So I have used Purple Garden actually a little bit this last month, and it has been a really meaningful experience. But I was able to connect with an advisor that connected to my situation and picked up on what was going on almost immediately. And she was able to offer me some really impactful insight. It was, I mean, seriously, like she was messaging and I just sat there and I was like, wow, that is exactly what I needed to hear right now. It was really, really, really meaningful. So if you are at a place, it doesn't have to be something huge, but if you're just, looking for a little bit of insight in your life or guidance or a new perspective, I would highly suggest downloading them and checking them out. And because you're here, Purple Garden has given us a discount code for you to use. So just go to the link that is in the description, set up your account, and then when you load in $10 into your account, Purple Garden will match that $10 when you use my discount code WhisperWind. So you put in 10 and actually you get 20, which is pretty cool. So thank you so much to Purple Garden for sponsoring this video. And thank you for watching. Yes, I think it will do nicely. Oh, hello. I thought everyone was asleep in the other room. Not you. Well, I can see that, yes. Please come in, have a seat. I hope that my working on things was not keeping you awake. Just having a hard time finding sleep this evening. Well, that is understandable. You have had quite a harrowing day today. Being caught traveling in the wilds when a sandstorm hits. Well, I'm glad that your leader, your traveling leader, saw reason in the end and was able to stay here for the night. I understand you are in a hurry to reach wherever it is that you are going, but take it from experience. It is much faster to wait out a sandstorm somewhere safe than to try to navigate in the midst of it and then end up hopelessly lost. This happened more times than most people would like to admit. So I am glad that you are here and that your party members are resting. But that does not mean that it was not a harrowing experience for you. Well, may I offer you a beverage, perhaps, that could help ease a troubled mind? Yes, here I have this one right here. There are many travelers who come this way who end up getting stuck for one way or another, so I like to have this. It's just a mixture of different plants and things from around the desert that will help to calm your mind, quiet any sort of anxious thoughts that you may have, and hopefully help you find a solace this evening. Okay, yes, of course. Don't mind. I hope you don't mind a simple tin cup. There we are. There. You do not need much of it, but if you just sit and sip on this for a bit, I guarantee in a little while you will start to feel a welcoming embrace from sleep. Something tells me it is more than just the sandstorm that is on your mind this evening. Yes, you have embarked on quite a long journey, and this is really just the beginning, isn't it? You have a long ways to go. In more ways than one, I think. Well, I do not know specifics, but the spirits, they whisper, especially about you. You seem to be quite intriguing to them. Yes, they have not given me a moment's peace since you have arrived. It is not your fault. But if you would like, perhaps these noisy spirits would like to offer you some guidance on this evening. Maybe then you would be able to find some sleep. All right. So, have you asked the spirits for help before? You have. Good. I hope that their guidance has proven helpful. Wonderful. Let's see. What method shall we use this evening? Maybe the cards. Cards can tell us quite a lot about where we are, about where we have been, and about where we wish to be. No, I do not think the spirits wish to share the cards with you today. Perhaps then we shall seek wisdom. Maybe from the bones. Have you ever had scrying bones read for you before? It is quite an ancient art. You see people take different items, not all bones, but quite a few different bones of different creatures here. I have written symbols on my set, but different people have different things in their sets. And also other little tokens from nature, or found items that seemed significant at the time. You touch them, and then we cast them, and we can read them, and how they land determines the reading. So we could do that today. I'm not getting a very strong sense from the bones tonight either. I don't think that is what the spirits wish for us to use. Let's see. How do the spirits wish to speak to you? I know. These. Have you ever seen witches' runes before? No, not like the runes that the dwarves use. Though those can be used in divination as well. But these runes are different. Witches' runes are a set of 13 different symbols, all of which mean something different. I can lay them out facing down, and then you visualize what it is that you would like guidance on, and allow the spirits to help you choose. That is certainly something that we could use today. Yes. Yes, I think that the spirits would like to use these today. This set that I have is one that I made myself, actually, with the guidance of the spirits. You see, it is stone, but inlaid in the stone is a type of fern. A fern of the desert is what the plant is called. Now, when you think of a fern, you may think of very delicate-looking plants, but they are actually quite hardy, especially the fern of the desert. It can grow in great adversity, harsh temperatures, little water, intense wind and sandstorms, and yet still it grows. Very resilient plant, and one that can help guide us this evening, I think. So, what do you say? Will you allow the spirits to speak to you through the witches' runes tonight? Wonderful, wonderful. Well, before we begin our rune reading, it is important to come into a reading with an open mind and a spirit that has been cleansed of anything that may be holding you back, doubt, worry, things like that. So, if you would allow me, perhaps we could start our evening with burning a bit of incense first. Good, good. A powerful, interesting substance, incense. The aromas that it produces have the ability to cleanse a spirit and to prepare your spirit, your energy for accepting whatever knowledge or guidance that you may receive. Now this one, I have a few different scents, but I've been favoring this one lately. It comes in a little cone like this, you see. This one is the scent musk. It's a very warm, comforting scent. The word musk is perhaps not a very pleasant word, but this smell is very pleasant. It is an incense that can encourage bonds between people, can encourage forgiveness and proper communication. It's very nice to use when we are doing a reading. I got this actually from a friend of mine who is, I believe, in Ebonwatch right now. She is a traveling merchant of sorts, so she's never in one place for too long. Perhaps you will meet her, if you are going that way. I believe you are. Good, good. Ebonwatch is an interesting city, to be sure. Full of all kinds of interesting people. And it is a gateway, per se, to the rest of the lands of the wilds from your home. There we are. So we will just light the cone. Now it will start to smoke and burn. And will continue to burn as we begin our reading. There. Just set it right there. Put the cover on. But there are holes in it so that the smoke can still get out and give us its beautiful aroma. don't you just take a nice deep breath of that? Quite lovely, yes? Yes, a very comforting scent. One of my personal favorites. There, we will let that burn as we continue our speaking with the spirits. Alright, now let us take some deep breaths together, shall we? And as we breathe in, I want you to think about the energy all around us, the spirits, the energy that exists in nature. And I want you to breathe it in and let it consume you in a good way. Not in a way that takes away who you are, but in a way that fulfills you. And then as you breathe out, I want you to push out any sort of worries or distractions and push them away from you, yes? So breathe in the good energies around you and push out the distractions. Alright, let's breathe in. And out. Very good, very good. Once more, I think. Breathe in. And out. Excellent, excellent. Now I think we can start to focus our attention on our runes here. Now I want you to think about your journey. Perhaps the journey that you are on right now, the more short-term one, but perhaps the longer journey that you are on as well. Whatever that may mean. I want you to think about it and perhaps the questions that you have about it, the worries, the clues that you perhaps have thus far that you are hoping will fall into place at some point. I'm going to start to lay these out as you continue to focus on your journey, yes? Okay, good. There we are. I'll have each of these face down so you cannot cheat. Not that you know what the symbols mean, I suppose, but still. I do not want you choosing based on appearance. I want you choosing based on where you think the spirits are leading you. Alright. Now, when you are ready, I want you to reach down and pick out one of these runes. We will start with one. Generally, I do readings in threes, but we will see what the spirits have to say. So, when you are ready, reach out and take one of the runes. That one? Okay. Interesting. This rune you can see here has a symbol of 2 arrows, 4 arrows really, intersecting, going in different ways. This is the symbol that means crossroads. Understandable, given what it is. The symbol of the crossroads means that you are in the midst of difficult decisions and major life decisions. These are not simple things like, oh, where shall I go tomorrow? These are big questions that perhaps will impact you for the rest of your life, or at least for the next season of your life. It may even be good things that you are deciding, but still just big things. whether something is good or bad, it can still feel like a lot. It doesn't have to be bad for it to be a challenge. Sometimes when it is good, you want to make sure that you make the right decision. And so sometimes that can weigh on us as well. The crossroads, it means that perhaps there is something unknown ahead of you. Or even perhaps that you have been feeling stuck lately. Perhaps you are at a crossroads and you do not know which way to go, and so you feel as though perhaps there is something holding you back. Perhaps that thing is your doubt, or perhaps there is something else. But whatever the case, you are at a place where big decisions are happening, or where they need to happen. Generally, when someone draws the crossroads as the first witch's rune, it means that you are seeking guidance for which way to go, or perhaps just looking for that little push to get you going in the right direction. Interesting. Shall we draw another? I will return this one. Mix them up a bit. There. Now, I would like you to choose a second one and think again about the journey that you are on. Perhaps this feeling of the crossroads, and see which one the spirits would like to speak to you through again. That one? All right. This is an interesting one, especially after you pulled the crossroads first. This is the symbol of the scythe. You can see it looks like the large tool that a farmer would use to harvest grain or something of the sort. The scythe in different places is also a symbol of death. Now this, in a witch's rune, it does not necessarily mean death, but it could mean danger. It could also mean that sudden changes or perhaps sudden endings are on the way. You see, that paired with the crossroads, it might mean that these decisions that you have been facing are going to be final in one way or another. Now, something ending is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we may fight to not have something end when really it needs to end. Things run their course. Some things last forever, but some things do not. And it does not mean that it was a failure, and it does not mean that it was wrong to pursue something that comes to an end. It means that that is what you did during that season, and now it is time for a new season. You see, the rune of the scythe, it means danger, and it means endings. But generally, after endings, we have new beginnings as well. No, not necessarily. Sometimes things end and they need to end, and that is what it is. But life is constantly made of cycles. Everything has its time. Everything has its purpose. And sometimes those purposes last for a very long time, and sometimes they end. So perhaps you have something that you are holding on to that you need to let go of. Perhaps something that has been holding you back. Or perhaps this is simply a warning that where you are going is dangerous. Especially paired with the Crossroads rune. Maybe it is warning you that the decision that you make is a heavy one. Interesting. I think we should draw another. What do you think? Okay, good. Let us put these back then. I will shuffle them a bit again. Just move them around ever so. There. Okay. Now, when you are ready, I want you to choose another one. We'll see what the spirits have to say this time. That one? Okay. Now this is an interesting one. This rune is the symbol of the rings. You can see it is a symbol made of 3 separate circles that intertwine. 3 separate pieces that together make a new whole, but are still themselves 3 separate. This is the symbol of connections, of people connecting with others, or perhaps in terms of things like alchemy, the combining of different elements to create something new. It means that something new is coming. Or perhaps it means that these decisions that you are facing, you should lean into the connections that you have to other people. Our connections that we make in this life can be the most valuable thing that we have. You know, so many times people run around in this entire plane looking for success, for power, for riches. For what? What really matters in our lives are the connections that we have with other people. Perhaps this rune means that it is time for you to focus less on all of these different tasks, all of these different things that you have going on, and perhaps focus more on the people that are around you. Now this rune could also mean that perhaps there is someone that you are going to meet soon who is going to be a valuable connection to you. Perhaps they have something of value. Perhaps they will be a meaningful relationship. Not necessarily romantic, but perhaps. It is a rune that generally brings with it a feeling of newness, of optimism, and of meaningful relationships. Interesting. That is interesting when combined with the other 2 runes that you have drawn already. The Crossroads, meaning times of decisions and perhaps uncertainty. The Scythe, meaning abrupt endings, perhaps danger. And now the Rings, meaning connections with people, new beginnings. Perhaps after your difficult decisions, after the danger has passed, then there will be connections for you on the other side of all of that. Or maybe the scythe is a warning of the danger, and the people around you are what is going to keep you out of the danger. That could be it as well. The spirits do not always speak in complete phrases, complete thoughts. Sometimes it is simply just feelings. It's actually quite annoying. If they could just be a little more clear, it would actually be very helpful. They do not often work that way, unfortunately. But hopefully some of this will come to help you along the way. Maybe when you are faced with a difficult decision, you will remember this reading and maybe you will choose people, the connections around you. Those that matter the most to you will be the decision that you make. Really? I think the spirits would like for you to draw one more rune. Generally, they speak in threes. It is sort of the magic of numbers, the number of magic. But they seem that they have more to tell you. Would you be willing to draw one more rune for them? Right. Good, good. Here, we will put the rings back here. And we will mix these up again. See what the spirits are so very anxious to tell you. It is not often that they are so insistent that they wish to speak to someone. You are here for more than just an archaeology expedition, aren't you? You do not have to tell me. But whoever you are, the spirits seem to think that you are quite important. All right, there. Now, I wish for you to think of the future. Whatever that may mean, it doesn't have to be specific, but think of what is coming ahead of you, what you hope to have coming ahead of you. And then reach out, asking the spirits for guidance on your future, and pick your final rune. That one. Alright, you seem very sure of this one. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. This is a very powerful rune. This is the rune of the eye. You can see there is a picture of an eye on there. Now, generally in different cultures, a symbol of an eye means guidance. It means knowledge, perhaps the ability to speak to the spirits. Also just unveiling the illusions. Seeing the truth for what the truth is. Some people may use the word enlightenment. Some people may just use the word truth. But whatever it is, it generally brings with it a feeling of understanding things in a new way. Of a veil being lifted from your eyes. Of truth, of understanding different clues, different pieces of something, seeing the bigger picture out of all of the little pieces. I'm getting a different feeling with this rune than the other three. You know, I think this rune is related to you, but I do not think that you are the focal point of this one. I think this rune might have to do with someone that you are going to meet soon. Perhaps that connection that we were discussing earlier. I think that there is someone who is living with a veil over their eyes, and you are going to be instrumental in lifting that veil for them, in helping them see the truth again. Interesting. It is still about you, but I think this one is more about someone who will become very important to you later. I'm sure that definitely does not make sense now. But hopefully it will. Maybe someday you will look back and say, ah yes, that strange desert witch told me about this, and this is how it has come to pass. You never know. There are times when I certainly do not understand what a reading means, but the spirits can be very insistent. Very loud too. Well, I think that is quite a lot of guidance for one night from these runes. The spirits seem to have quieted down a little. They're still quite noisy, but they are less urgent that something needs to happen right at this moment. I believe that they have given you the wisdom that they wish to give you. The spirits? I have always heard them, ever since I was a very small girl. For better or worse. Sometimes worse. It took me a while before I understood my gift. Not everyone has the gift. Not everyone who has the gift is willing to accept it. But if you listen, they will speak. Should they choose to. They do not choose to speak to everyone. But I am happy to be a vessel for their wisdom. Hopefully it is something that will help. You know what else is helping? I think this is helping you now. You look much more relaxed, much sleepier than you did when you first came out here. Do you think perhaps you will be able to sleep now? Good, good. I am glad to hear it. It seems as though you have a very long journey ahead of you. I would assume that your guide is taking you first to Ebon Watch. And then where are you going after that? Baywith. A beautiful city. It is where I was born. It is a wonderful, wonderful place. Full of much culture, beauty, art, knowledge, wisdom. But also, it has its secrets as well. It will be quite an adventure, I can tell you that. Well, I suppose, since you do have such a long journey ahead of you, you should go try to get some rest. If you cannot sleep, you can come back out, we can try something else, but something tells me that after that guidance from the spirits, and especially after that drink, that you will not find it so difficult to fall asleep anymore. Good, good. Well, sleep well, traveler. May the spirits continue to guide you wherever it is that you may go. They seem very interested in you. As am I. Well, I've talked your ear off enough. Off you go. Sleep well.